Today is February 4th, 2024. Our reflection is entitled Suffering and Love, A Servant's Journey. First reading. Job chapter 7, verses 1-4 and 6-7. Job spoke, saying, Is not man's life on earth a drudgery? Are not his days those of hirelings? He is a slave who longs for the shade, a hireling who waits for his wages. So I have been assigned months of misery, and troubled nights have been allotted to me. If in bed I say, When shall I arise? Then the night drags on. I am filled with restlessness until the dawn. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle. They come to an end without hope. Remember that my life is like the wind, I shall not see happiness again. Second reading. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 16-19 and 22-23. Brothers and sisters, if I preach the gospel, this is no reason for me to boast, for an obligation has been imposed on me, and woe to me if I do not preach it. If I do so willingly, I have a recompense, but if unwillingly, then I have been entrusted with a stewardship. What then is my recompense? That, when I preach, I offer the gospel free of charge so as not to make full use of my right in the gospel. Although I am free in regard to all, I have made myself a slave to all so as to win over as many as possible. To the weak I became weak, to win over the weak. I have become all things to all, to save at least some. All this I do for the sake of the gospel, so that I too may have a share in it. Gospel. Mark chapter 1, verses 29-39. On leaving the synagogue, Jesus entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. Simon's mother-in-law lay sick with a fever. They immediately told him about her. He approached, grasped her hand, and helped her up. Then the fever left her and she waited on them. When it was evening, after sunset, they brought to him all who were ill or possessed by demons. The whole town was gathered at the door. He cured many who were sick with various diseases, and he drove out many demons, not permitting them to speak because they knew him. Rising very early before dawn, he left and went off to a deserted place, where he prayed. Simon and those who were with him pursued him and on finding him said, Everyone is looking for you. He told them, Let us go on to the nearby villages that I may preach there also. For this purpose have I come. So he went into their synagogues, preaching and driving out demons throughout the whole of Galilee. In the first reading from the book of Job, we delve into the depths of human suffering and the profound questions it raises. Job's lamentation reflects the raw and honest expression of the struggles we face in the midst of pain and adversity. Yet, even in the darkness of Job's experience, there is a cry for meaning and understanding that resonates with our own wrestling with the mysteries of suffering. Transitioning to the second reading from Corinthians, Paul shares his perspective on the role of a servant in the proclamation of the gospel. His words convey a sense of urgency and duty, emphasizing the willingness to adapt and endure challenges for the sake of sharing the message of God's love. Paul's approach challenges us to consider how we navigate our own hardships in the context of spreading the transformative message of Christ. The gospel narrative takes us to a moment of healing and service in the life of Jesus. His compassionate response to the sick and the possessed reveals the heart of his ministry. The healing touch of Jesus becomes a powerful symbol of God's love in action, and his retreat for prayer underscores the importance of maintaining a deep connection with the Father amidst the demands of service. These readings collectively prompt us to reflect on the intertwined themes of suffering, service, and proclaiming God's love. They invite us to consider how our own struggles can be transformed into opportunities for service and a more profound connection with God. Today, I will embrace the challenges and struggles in my life with a renewed perspective. In the spirit of Paul's commitment to proclaiming the gospel, I will seek ways to turn my hardships into avenues of service and love for others. Additionally, I will prioritize moments of prayer and reflection, recognizing the essential role of maintaining a deep connection with God in the midst of life's demands. If you found this video meaningful, I invite you to show your support by hitting the like, subscribe and share button, as this will help us reach more people with these reflections. Together, we can create a community that seeks wisdom and spiritual growth.